All right. Before I get into that, did you notice what happened with the subscriber numbers after John left and came back? So John, nothing really happened with his channel at first when he first left. Then when he came back, AMC started to come up. Then when the AMC and Collider and whatever, they started having their problems again, and he left again. Um, John was already knocking on the door for his first 100,000 subscribers. He was at somewhere between 60 to 100,000 when he decided to jump ship, if I remember correctly. Collider was already over their 100,000 and knocking on the door for two. Like 150 or something like that. And then when Collider started, they powered forward, and then it was on. When they hit the first 200,000 subscribers and they started expanding and stuff like that, I noticed that John's rise was happening, but every time John hit a milestone, they pretty much was already doubled and tripled. Today, they're over 600,000 subscribers. I looked back at AMC and I was surprised. They were at the 200 something subscriber mark when they switched from AMC to Collider. And then they're at what, 4 or 6 or 4 is it? 4 or 6?
What's John Campea at?
John just knocked out 200,000.
200,000.
But he's doing that on his own, all by himself. And
you know what probably irked him? Campea just celebrated his 100 million views. He had a big party.
They did that at AMC.
They did that at AMC.
And Collider, they've already had that at Collider and whatnot.
But for him, by himself to do that, and they looking at their views not being that high, that probably was like, what is we doing?
That was part of the rise and fall. Now, you're not a wrestling guy. Now, the one thing that I thought that it really mirrored, it reminded me of, for all you wrestling fans out there, it reminded me of the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWF when Vince McMahon was the man by himself with WWE and nobody could rival him, and then Ted Turner created WCW, and it was like, we're about to take your empire away. And what happened, this is why I brought that up. Because here's something that Vince McMahon and the WWF said is one of the main reasons why WCW lost. Because for a while, now I never jumped ship. I was always WWE, by the way, the whole time. But while it was going on, people were saying that WCW was cooler, the NWO, Hogan and them, they were cooler. I mean, the WWE had Stone Cold and DX and all that stuff. But here's something that I heard that the documentary that they said this is the real reason why WCW lost. They were just WCW was focused on making the show big and the shows good and the teams and all that. Vince McMahon was a genius at not just making the show great or a team great. He was able to make the individual superstar. He was focusing on making superstars. He had, by themselves, The Rock was just as popular as NWO, the group NWO, the cool big group of the New World Order on the other side. Stone Cold, by himself, was just as big. Undertaker, by himself. All these people, by themselves. And then now they got all these individual superstars, and they're all together. By definition, they're by themselves. They're bringing in all these views. They're getting all this fan base, and then when they all come together, it's just as big. That to me is what I felt like John Campea and like Schmodown and whatnot. They had their core group, their small groups of people, and they kept it focused. And they focused and they just worked on themselves and making sure that their stuff was the best that it could be. Now Collider, I felt, did the same thing. They were trying to make good shows, but they were just spreading themselves thin. They were getting the subscribers, but for some reason those subscribers weren't like sticking around, because like half of those subscribers would be like, "Oh, I like McCool." The other people would be like, "Oh, I like this guy." And then when they got their own shows, it just doesn't. It makes more sense in the wrestling world, but it kind of, to me, kind of feels like what happened to Collider, because with John by himself, he was able to just generate that much. With just only having 100,000 subscribers, but those 100,000 subscribers were like loyal. Where people like me and you, we were subscribed, but my attention was
wavered
and stuff. I didn't catch every episode, and I stopped watching. Now, John Campea's show, I started watching every day.
Episode.
Collider, like I missed a week, and I caught up here and there, and I felt like I thought I was the only one, because I was like, maybe I'm the only one, maybe it's just me. because their subscribers kept tripling and doubling. They're like at 600. But now you got 600 something odd subscribers, and they're all doing probably what me and you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might as well just have 50,000 subscribers, because if they just subscribe and then they never come back, if they don't come back every day, that's what the problem is. John Campea created something that makes his people want to come back every day. And I think it's mostly to do with that question, that interaction with them. I'm surprised Collider didn't do that in the beginning. I think they started doing it. They took questions. They did mailbag. They got AMC mailbag and took that from John too. I think he needs to take that name back too.
Mailbag.
But they didn't do it with. It's something about the financial support.
And it's a very smart thing, because with those questions, that basically runs his show.
Yeah,
half of his show is
he gets to pay the girl, the Aaron and what's her name, Chris, who comes through, and Robert,
yeah,
and it's just those 4 people. It's just him and then the people and the guy. Oh, and what's his name running behind the scenes and all that.
Doing the text and all that.
A couple, one show pays probably one person for the whole week or the whole month, whatever the deal is. Right?
And then he's gotten real smart with it. He's gone outside of
the super chat.
The super chat and YouTube, where
and it's connected to. I thought that was going to be a conflict, but it actually it's connected. So even if you pay through super chat or pay through that website, it still pops up on the same timeline. It don't matter. It's linked. I was like, dang. And so now, and it's up 24 hours now. And I'm like, dude, how is it that Collider and AMC, they these big ass companies, and they didn't think of this shit?
He's got the business mind for that.
He just stayed focused.